Why do we need to do shadow work? Some of you won't even know what shadow work is, but this is not the video that I will be talking about what shadow work is. What I want to talk about here is why it's so important for everyone to do shadow work, especially for the people who are here to make a difference, who are here born into this world to have an impact in some way, to the people that feel like you are not here just, living a meaningless life. Like, you're here, you have a purpose, you have a mission. And I think most people feel like this somewhere inside of them. But there are some people that are more driven in this pursuit than others. So if you're one of those people and you have this sense of there's something here that you are here because there's something that you are supposed to do on this earth in this lifetime, then I want you to think about that big vision, something that you want to create. Like, if you could even close your eyes here and just think about, if you had free reins, if there were no possibilities, if you were absolutely limitless and what you thought would come into reality, then what sort of world would you create? And I know this is a huge question, and this is not something that you can, think up of in just a couple of seconds. But just think about your big vision for your life. What do you desire? What would that look like? How would you live every single day if this grand vision of your life, of the world, of the people around you, like your relationships, like what would all of that look like? And we can think of this as like some sort of utopia or Eden paradise even, because it is a calling within us to create heaven on earth. And this is a possibility. However, and this is where shadow work comes in order to create this vision, this grand plan, this huge dream that you have for your life, the next question would be, who would you need to become? Because this is where the hero or heroine archetype has to be invoked within us. Because in order to get to this grand vision, you cannot be who you are today. You got to realize this. You cannot stay in this form, shape, personality, thought structure, emotional patterns, behaviors, routines. Because if you could create that life by staying where you are, you would already have that life. But you don't. And we don't have that world. So we all need to take responsibility for the changes that we need to make internally and externally in order to birth this vision into life. So the second question is, who would you need to become? Like, who is that inner hero, inner heroine that needs to be birthed, that needs to take form and shape within you in order for that vision to become a reality? Now, once you have a clear idea of who you need to become, who that heroine is, then of course to every good story, there is a villain. And this is where the shadow comes in. Because there will be an aspect of you that is going to try to hold you back. There's an aspect of you that's going to try to sabotage this vision. There's an aspect of you that is going to, at every cost, try to test you to see how much do you actually want this over here. How much do you want it? And the interesting thing here is that the hero cannot be a hero if the villain is not the villain. The villain actually helps the hero transform into the hero that is needed in order for the grand vision to come into reality. And so the shadow, even though and I'm just talking about one aspect of the shadow is not always a villain. I just want to mention that quickly, but it can be. And this is often how we view it. So if the shadow is the villain, and the villain is needed for the hero to actually transform the qualities within themselves in order to create this reality that they're dreaming of, then we got to see that if we try to push our shadow aside, if we try to pretend like these patterns, these feelings, whatever it is, anger, sadness, resentment, grief, jealousy, envy, greed, selfishness, if we try to pretend like, oh no, that's not me, then we cannot have all of this unless we own all of that. Because those emotions, once transformed, those feelings, those characteristics, once transformed, once brought into the light of your conscious mind, once integrated into your persona, becomes this really dynamic life energy. It becomes this really dynamic life force that doesn't get, shoved into the basement of your psyche, but it's brought out into life. And as you bring it out into life, you soon start to realize that these feelings that I put a label on, these feelings that I judged as bad, as wrong, that I didn't allow myself to feel, actually were not bad. They were not bad. Every single part of you has a reason for existing. There's no part of you that's extra, oh, evolution just added this part and it has no purpose. No. No, every single part of you has a purpose. Every single emotion, every single feeling, every single thought, all your stories, all your behaviors, all your routines at the moment, they all have a purpose. Otherwise, they would not exist within you. So shadow work is about understanding what the purpose of the underlying emotion, of the actual energy beneath all the labels and the judgment. What is that really? What is it really? Is it an eruption of energy like rage? Because if it's an eruption of energy and we remove the label of rage, then all of a sudden we have this energy that we might need if we are to bring down structures that society has sort of handed us at birth, and we do not fit within those structures. And here we are suppressing this energy that is explosive, that as we do the shadow work, we might start to realize that that explosive energy is actually exactly what we need in order to fulfill our mission here on earth. But if we refuse to look at the shadow because of all these scary labels that we've put on it, then we're never going to get there. We're never going to access that energy, and we're going to live a very mediocre life. We're going to stay in the gray zone, in the gray area. We're not going to go too much into pleasure, joy, bliss, ecstasy, euphoria, if we're not also willing to go into the darker aspects and explore that. Because those feelings of bliss, euphoria, ecstasy, they come from wholeness. They come from all of you, every single aspect of you, all your subpersonalities being brought into this dinner party and allowed to sit at your table. And the joy comes from knowing that you are whole. There's no part of you that shouldn't be there, ever. No matter what society has told you, no matter what your family has told you, no matter what friends have told you, all of you is perfect, exactly as you are. Does not mean that it's okay to hurt other people. Does not mean that you can just grab these shadow aspects and play them out without taking any responsibility or any accountability and just, oh, I'm just integrating my shadow, I'm going to be an asshole. No, it's about you. It's about you allowing them to exist within you, and then what you create in your external reality in terms of behaviors and actions, that you need to take responsibility for that and act in accordance with your higher truth and your higher integrity. But that higher integrity comes from seeing yourself as whole, from understanding that I shouldn't judge myself for having these very human experiences. So my invitation for you today is to explore this grand vision, explore who you need to become in order for this vision to become reality, and then explore what's the opposite of that hero and heroine. Who's the villain in this story, and how does this villain possibly carry an energy that if I could access that, would be a great asset for me in order to create the grand vision for my life and for the world. I hope that was helpful, and I'm sending you so much love. If you don't already follow my page and you like this, then please go follow my page. I would be happy to welcome you into this beautiful community that we've created together. Sending you so much love and have a wonderful day. Bye.